Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday morning Mailbox Power Mastermind Call, where we come together as affiliates to lift each other up and learn from each other so that we can all grow our Mailbox Power businesses. And as a result, it will increase whatever other business you have that you're using Mailbox Power with and sharing it. So, we always like to start the week with wins. Does anybody have a win other than I'm going to announce the win of last week in Kimberly's AI call? So if you're watching this and you were not on last week, you need to go watch the replay in YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type @ Life's LIFES real currency, and you'll come to our channel, which is Michael and Brenda Sanchez, and then just navigate to the Mailbox Power Mastermind calls. All of the replays are there. So if you're not able to join us live, which we really wish we could see all of your faces, because then we can learn from you too.
And we can even simplify that. Just go to the affiliates page and click on the link.
Yeah, for the replay. But if they want all of them in one place, go to YouTube. So Machen, I saw your hand raised.
Win of the week, I signed up a new affiliate. They wanted to do more direct mail. They had been using somebody else, but they would have me kind of do their designs over the past couple of years. I'd done their websites and stuff like that. And this year I just said, hey, what are you spending on mailers? They told me the cost, and I said, well, I'm competitive with that, and I think I can get a better response rate. So you willing to give it a try? And they said, yeah, let's give it a try. Luckily, I caught them, right before they were about to send out a campaign. I just happened to ask at the right time, I guess. And I ask them 3 or 4 times a year. They send me Christmas cards. They use the mail already. So I was like, hey, let me ask the question that matters. So anyhow, they signed up. They sent like 4,000 cards, 3980 something, right? Like 4,000 cards. We just put the first name on the front. It got such a huge response. They were like, hey, can you turn off the Facebook ads and the Google ads and stuff? Like, I can't do all the calls. We're just too busy. And I was like, no. Like, we set a budget. Let's just do the budget. And you got leads and to hire some people or whatever. And they were like, great idea. We'll just get a better, more salespeople out there. You're right. And they're trying to close on a house, and someone closed on that house, and they're like, hey, I've got a little bit more time. Can we send another mailer? So my win of the week is that they sent another 4,000 cards and another design, just to go get some more attention with the system. So they're using it, they're getting a result, they're reinvesting into it, they get it, and now I just got to tell them, hey, how would you like us to do that Christmas card for you a little better than yours was last year? Because their Christmas card would look great, awesome photos, crummy paper, crummy printing. We can solve that because we have those pearls. Those pearls, when you send a Christmas card on those, the pearl flats, if you haven't seen them, it's the best for Christmas photos, because it's like, oh, I'll put that in the fridge. That's the grandbabies. Whatever.
Awesome. Congratulations, Machen. Kimberly, did you have your hand up?
Oh, I just got to say, that results in commissions, recurring commissions. They're going to stick around. So that's like a little boost on a pro membership, and the QR codes things are working and all that. And they're like, what is all this? I'm like, take a breath. Doesn't matter. Do the one thing you're good at. I'll handle this part. And as an affiliate, it's easy for me because part of my thing is like, I'm just getting them into the system and then stepping out. So like when they joined, I said, sign up for like 3 months. I'll help you get set up over those 3 months. I'll step out of the way. So like just a little tidbit, there's commissions. That's my win. I want, whatever. They sent cards. They're winning. They're making $50,000, $100,000 on their cards. I'm thinking about changing businesses. It's
like, so Machen, I think I heard you say they're on a pro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Executive.
Okay. I was like, put them on the executive. They'll say.
No, they're getting the QR codes and all that stuff. Yeah. I think they did the 3-month thing, but they committed with me for 3 months, but they just ran their card and signed everything up.
Nice.
Pay and list dent repair.
Oh, nice. Kimberly, did you have a win?
Yes, the client I signed up for the pro account is contacting me and she goes, I got an idea. So she's thinking about it. She's creating a card for her nephew who just graduated from law school. And she's got somebody who is teacher of the year. So she not only gets the value, but she's getting excited about how she can recognize other people. And that's her heart anyway. So it's
Nice.
just wonderful when the light bulb goes off.
Yep. I love it. Any other wins? Suzanne.
Good morning. I'm in Ohio visiting my sister, and I'm trying to get the camera right. It's terrible. Anyway, my win is I sent out a Memorial Day card, and people started getting it last week, I think it was. I also put a QR code in there, and that led to a song, "This Land Is Your Land," song that I sang with my friend Judy. And I cannot tell you the number of responses and the number of wonderful, thoughts and everything. Everybody was saying this is perfect, and they were remarking, but because you both were in the military, or you in the military, you understand, what was going on, and it's just wonderful. Today I've gotten 4 already,
Nice.
So I'm just keep going with this. So it's fantastic. Such a wonderful feeling.
So Suzanne, and I hear this a lot from a lot of affiliates. You are getting these replies. Are you just saying thank you? Or if they're businesses, are you saying to them, thank you so much? Would you like to be able to send things like this to your clients?
I'm not saying that mainly because the people I am sending them to are all retired.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not, there's a couple that I have approached, and actually there's one woman who is very interested in using it. So, but yes, that line is good. Would you like to do this also? So
since they're all retired, we do now have the $29 membership.
Right.
Would you like to do this for your friends and family?
Right.
So just many people send out big mailers like Machen's client, and they get a response, but they don't lead to business because they don't talk about business.
Right.
And so it's great to send out. I love to just send out and expect nothing in return. And that really is what we should expect, is nothing in return. But if somebody reaches out to you, it's the perfect opportunity to say, because this is your business, Suzanne.
Right.
Would you like to do this? Just curious. Is this something you'd like to do to recognize your friends and family or your clients or whatever? Right.
I used the line in the card, the PS, let me know when you get this and let me know how you're doing. And I'm getting everybody's report on how they're doing.
Right.
Nice. Machen, I think you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, Suzanne, how would you like to have the best birthday income, lead the birthday income? Because not everybody has to be that executive client. You just have me think, I have 240 something people in my birthday club that don't have businesses. They're just people that I just felt like, am I gonna say I don't celebrate your birthday because you don't have a business? That doesn't make me authentic to who I am. But now I can ask them, how would you like to do that? And then I could go get my clients that way. So as far as building the business, it would be cool to hear your progress on that, because then I'll have a running partner on that. That's all I say.
Well, it's interesting because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was looking at birthday cards, and her remark was, have you seen the prices of birthday cards? I mean, they're like $7 or something ridiculous like that, unless you go to the dollar store, But yeah, that's really.
And anecdotally, we were in the birthday card line yesterday. We were just at the grocery store, and my daughter, she can read like crazy, so she's just grabbing birthday cards. She just went in the line by herself, started grabbing birthday cards and reading them, and the line was full. And I was thinking, I don't have any use for this, but all these people do. And that just makes your point. Like, we could be talking about just the savings on using it or whatever. Make it simple.
Yep.
How do we make it simple, Brenda?
Yep, make it simple. Awesome. Well, like Machen, I had a success story this past week in that I had a pro sign up on the 90-day, but then I met with her to get everything set up and was talking about the QR codes, and until she has the executive, because she plans eventually to do executive, and I was telling her how she needs to do it until she has the dynamic QR code in the system. And she's like, that's complicated. I just need to be an executive. So we called corporate and upgraded her to an executive. So let the system and your training, let them buy what they think they need at the time. And the system, if they want to use all those extras, especially the dynamic QR code, it'll happen, because they'll see how much work it is if they don't have that. So.
Yes, interesting. As I said, I'm on vacation and I have been answering text messages and everything else because it just blew up. It really did. It was unreal, the number of responses. And I thought, I don't want to spend my vacation doing all of this, but I did, and I do.
Awesome.
And it is awesome.
Kimberly, last one, and then Mike's got some training he wants to share.
I do have another win, and that is Mary Coltes on the call. She's been on the call and was open when you gave that challenge. So I just wanted to acknowledge her because she's a longtime Legal Shield client now, Mailbox Power, and just happy to have you back, Mary. You're awesome.
Nice to have you. And I don't think Carla's been on for a while. I don't think she's not on camera, but we see her every once in a while, but I think it's been a while. So welcome back. But today, Mike and I were driving up to the mountains over the weekend. We went up to Cripple Creek because those of you who know our story know that we met playing poker. So we went up to Cripple Creek, and on the way we were listening to an audio book, and it's called Be the One by Justin Prince. Be the One. And if you haven't read it or listened to it, I highly recommend it. It's about becoming the one, being the one in your family that leaves a legacy, not just financially, but just in general, leaving a legacy behind. And I'm not going to give away the whole book, but he talks about a story of somebody that they didn't even know, had never met, but they go visit his grave. And why? Because that person was the one in his family. And as we were listening to it, there was
he talks about distraction and focus. And he says when you're distracted, you really can't accomplish what you want to accomplish, whether it's in your personal life, your health, your business, whatever it is that you're distracted by, you can't really focus on those things that are important to your family. But he gave the analogy of the sun. The sun provides warmth for all of us, and creates sustained life here on Earth. Without the sun, we wouldn't exist. But he said, if you take that and you focus the rays of the sun, he says it becomes so powerful that it can melt through steel. Now, I was a little skeptical when I heard about that, so I Googled it, and it is a fact. if you focus sunlight to a focal point, it will actually burn through steel. So he says, if you magnify your focus, you magnify your effort. And you magnify your effort, magnify your focus, it will also magnify everything else that you are focused on, whether it's your health, your family, your business. If you just focus for a period of time, you can accomplish a lot.
And do you want to just play? Can you play that, or can you not get to the thing to play it?
Let me see if I can find it.
All right. Well, he's doing that. So it can work in two ways. It can work to your success, and it can work to your failure. Because what you magnify or what you focus on, and think about what you are focusing on, it expands. Do you need a code? Did I get it? He's getting logged in. I kind of want to play it before we talk about it if possible, because the way he says it is, I love it. Here. Oh. You got it, sweetie?
So,
Yeah, you do.
that's not what the password is.
No?
Mhm.
Can you just do it from your phone? Sorry. I thought he already had it.
No, I don't.
Ready to
I
play.
wasn't going to play it, but
Just focus on the solution.
Yep.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He's
Don't think about the problem. It is so interesting how things like that amplify no matter what, because
yep.
I found myself here at Mailbox Power like going, I gotta move this thing over one little notch, and we didn't have this notch thing where you could click and then press the arrow button, and you start getting like so mired in like the smallest things, and then the phone rings, you answer the phone, what? Instead of like, howdy, it's a beautiful day, and vice versa. The world's crumbling.
Yeah.
And decide to answer the phone, hey, it's possible. The outcomes are possible.
Yep.
And
So, all right. So I'll just read this because we can't get it up. So I'm reading from page 179 if you have the book. Imagine what would happen if you magnify your focus on the things that matter to you, your career, your health, your relationships, your family, your faith. Your effort would magnify and your results would multiply. The second thing I'd like to share with you is that your focus has economic value. Focus makes you money, and distraction costs you money. To illustrate my point, let's calculate what your focus is worth down to the minute. First, write down your annual income goal. What do you want to make this year, or what do you expect to make? Now, take that number and divide it by 2,000 to represent the 2,000 hours the average American works each day. The result is your hourly rate. Yeah, each year. The result is your hourly rate or your hourly value of your focus. Finally, divide that number by 60 to represent the 60 minutes in each hour. In other words, divide the hourly value of your focus by the line above by 60 to calculate your dollar per minute rate. The result is your dollar per minute rate, or what illustrious investor and shark Kevin Harrington calls your dollar per minute analysis. That's what you're earning every minute you're focused, and that's what you're burning every moment you're distracted. So say you want to make $125,000 this year. Your focus is worth more than $1 per minute and $60 per hour. Now think about this. The average American spends more than 1,300 hours a year on social media. So what is social media, just one of many distractions, costing you? It would cost you $214 a day or $1,500 per week or more than $78,000 per year. Want to give yourself a $78,000 raise this year? Magnify your focus. So whether it be TV, whether it be your phone, how many of you get distracted, whether it's Facebook or something else on the phone, or TV, and we sit, Mike and I do this, we'll get wrapped up in a series on TV and you got to watch them all, and you spend maybe half a day watching episode after episode, and then the next day, how many hours are you, or how many dollars are you losing by doing that? Now, we all need fun. We all need to be able to get away and not be working 24/7. So I'm not saying work 24/7, but what if you just gave up 1 hour a day of trolling Facebook that's not getting you anything, unless you're doing it purposely, or TV or whatever it might be. If it was just 1 hour a day, how much more, if you got focused on your business, would you make this coming year? So how many of you would like to get a pay raise this year? Do you see how you could do it pretty easily? Who's the other one? The habits. Clear.
James Clear.
James Clear, yeah. Atomic Habits. That's another good book, and it's all about this and getting. Yep, Kimberly has it right there. Same idea, and it's small things. One small thing. So there was a presenter at my BNI last week that talked about health and wellness. And she said, there was somebody in the room that said, but sugar is my favorite food group. Can you help me? And she said, yes, it's making one small change a day, adding a protein shake or adding, a healthy meal in the morning or whatever it might be, can lead to drastic results in your health. Same with your business. If you just change one habit at a time. We all want to do it all at once. It's like, all right, I'm all in. It's like New Year's resolutions. I'm all in and I'm going to make this happen. And it's too much. But if you did bite size and did added one habit a day for a couple of weeks and then add something else, where would you be in a year? Kimberly.
Yeah, I think we totally underestimate the compound effect. How when we repeat something that's really good and we just do it just a little bit, how it compounds over time.
Yep.
I got the best checkup from my dentist, and I
Yeah.
have a gum issue. And he goes, what are you doing different? And I said, when I brush my teeth, I'm sitting down at night. Because when I stand up at night, I'm in a hurry. I'm tired. I'm not even focused. But when I sit down, I know my trouble spots. I'm hitting everything. He's like, keep doing what you're doing. That's remarkable. He goes, that's really it? You're sitting down instead of standing up? And I'm like, yeah, one little thing.
Yeah, I love it. Perfect example. Machen, did you have, yep.
Yeah, I love that you taught the dentist something because he's gonna take that to his other patients too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's cool. Just by being patient. I was thinking a couple different thoughts immediately came across my mind, and one of those is one thing that I did to instantly increase my income was like the negativity thing. So when people are like really negative, we all have friends or family or clients or whatever, and they're like, hey man, I'm having a bad day, and it's the idea. And if it's somebody you care about, you're like, hey, let's look at this, let's look at some solutions. And if they're like, there are no solutions, whatever, it's like, okay, it's time to call help. Like if they need professional help, call help. But like if somebody's just like, man, you know what sucks is traffic, and it's like, hey, I'm a little busy. I'm about to send out birthday cards. Like, I'm really into celebrating people. Like, who are you celebrating this year? And they're like, nobody. I hate the world. It's like, I give them about 3 minutes, and I just did my calculations and did the math on it. That's about $7.50 that they owe me. They owe me almost like, that's $7. They owe me a couple bucks for that complaining. I'm gonna give that to them for free, and at the end of the 3 minutes, that conversation's over. But now you gave me a number on it. Now I feel better about it, because I always feel bad because I'll go, hey, look, I'm just really focused on positivity, and I can't really do a whole lot of super negative conversations. I'm here to support and assist and all this. But you gave me that immediate thought, was like, oh, I can feel a little better, because like that's my time. And when I'm with kids, that's my time. We talk about don't want to you mentioned like we don't want to overdo it, all business all the time, but we have to be on 24/7, and being on 24/7 could be, I call it family time for me, because I have a family, I have young kids. It could be vacation time, it could be cruise time. Hey, it's cruise time. We saved up 2 weeks. Like, this is not being on. It's being on for my mental health. Being on is being on for my relationships, my family, my faith. That's being on. Doesn't mean leaving the sermon or whatever's happening to take a phone call. It means being on. And that could be being present for a business 24/7, getting rest 24/7. And yeah, I'm ranting, cathartic, maybe a little bit. I've been here. I felt this one a little bit. And then the other thing you immediately triggered that I went and checked was screen time. So if you have an iPhone, you can just like drag down and type screen time, and this little guy will pop up, and you can click your screen time. And now this is from the last week, which is just yesterday, where I didn't pick up my phone. So this isn't going to be as embarrassing as it could be. You can say right here, I'll switch back to the previous week. You can switch right there. So all I did was go to screen time, and then down here, see all websites and activity. And then it'll start right here on the day, but I always go to the week. And I look at my week and I say, how much time were you on Netflix? How much time were you on YouTube? Because if I'm on Netflix or YouTube, those are, 8, here, let's see, 29 minutes. Let's do the math. 29 times, my math's 250. Real easy for me to do that math. They just cost $75, $80. That could have been date night.
Yep.
Now, maybe that was date night, so it's okay to track it. Who knows? But that was what you made me think, is like I can go look right there and go, am I on my Tamagotchi, my little app for I don't know what it is anymore. What are the apps that people the gyms one, like, am I on my Angry Birds or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's time I can get back. Am I on my Kindle? That's time that I'm in personal development. That's great time spent, whatever. That'll increase that dollar per whatever.
Yep, I love
Rant
it.
over.
Well, it's funny you say that, because another example he gave is Richard Branson. So Richard Branson was a company had pitched that he was going to be the keynote speaker. And so they called him and offered, I don't remember what it was to begin with, 100,000, and
For an hour's worth.
for an hour's worth of time, and his team said no. And then they called back, I don't remember how much later, and offered him like 200 or 250,000. And again, the answer from his team was, I'm sorry, he's not available. And then it became 500,000, and still the team said he's not available. And then they offered 1 million, and the team still said he's not available, and explained that he is focused on, and I don't remember what it was at the time. Do you remember what it was? He was focused on something else, and that wasn't going and giving keynote speeches. It was something else. And do you think that he got rich and then got focused, or do you think he got focused and then got rich? is what they say in the book. Yeah.
Saying no to one thing means yes to another.
Yep.
That was really difficult to me to say no. But when you're focused on your big dream, you're focused and you look and you say, I got 8 hours left for the day or 6 hours left for the day. Do I have time for that or whatever? No. Unless it's one of those few things that's, am I on this personal speaking, whatever? But that was my big takeaway from that when I read that was like the saying no means yes. Because I want to say yes to everybody all the time about everything. Saying no means yes to the right things sometimes. That was a really big lesson. Sorry, echoing it 3 times.
No worries.
I think what's important to remember too, Machen, is we always think that time is an unlimited resource, and we fail to remember that it is finite. We are only given so many hours of a day. We are only given so many hours of life, and we don't know when our time will come. So time is a more valuable resource than money or anything else. And so how you spend your time and how you focus on the time that you do have really does magnify everything else. So time is really finite. And I think you don't, at least I didn't realize it until I got to the age that I'm at. And I know that I've got more time behind me than I've got time left in front of me. So it makes you rethink your priorities.
And I would say as entrepreneurs, many of us, we work more hours than the average, the 2,000 a year. But what if you wanted to get super focused and magnify your time with your family? And because that's why you got in business, we don't get in business to work twice as many hours as everybody else. We get in business to work half as many hours so we can spend more time with our family. So what if instead of dividing by 2,000, you divide by 1,000? And then you say, that's really what I want to work. And so that's really what I'm worth an hour. So that you can get super focused on your faith, your family, your health, your the other things that are very important, not just your business, not just your job. Does that make sense? Was that helpful?
Yes. I just have, I tried to look up Just to Be the One book, and there was everything came up, but that. What's his last
Justin
name?
Prince.
Justin Prince.
Okay.
And Nanette, I think you had your hand up. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Well, they offered him $1 million for a 1-hour speech, but it wasn't 1 hour of his time. If you think about it, it was planning what he was going to say, packing for the trip, the travel time there and back, the schmoozing once he's there. And so basically that was one entire day, if not more of his time, that could have easily derailed him from whatever that major project or thing was that he was focused on. So it wasn't $1 million for an hour.
Right. People say they get paid for a speaking gig and it's only an hour, or it's 2 hours, or it's 30 minutes, whatever. But you're absolutely right. And that was the first thing I thought of, Nanette, when we were listening to the book is, well, and why I heard no. And I'm like, well, that's because he's traveling, and how far did he have to go, and how long will it take to get there, and the hotel and the plane, and expenses and all of that. And then it got to the end and it was about being focused. And even if that was paying him at $1 million, even if it took him 5 days, that's 250,000 a day. That's still a lot of money, but he chose no because there was something more important that he was saying yes to, like Machen was talking about. So we said no to that speaking.
I'm like jumping out of my skin. Can you see me like physically like can I anecdotally say like I have a mentor who shares this story as the person whose friend it was who did this, who was trying to get so like I have this little tie. I'm trying not to make this like, oh listen, what I thought was really interesting is the way that I was explaining this story was that as things went back and forth to Richard's secretary, essentially, it was like, hey, okay, guess what? Unlimited whatever, $5 million. You don't even have to show up. Sign this piece of paper that says that you're like part of this event. That's all you got. It wasn't even about time. It wasn't about anything. It's about the idea of taking focus, even looking at that piece of paper to sign, even just taking a conversation about it, even just taking focus. It wasn't about what he was about right then. So I keep going like, because I just keep visually thinking. If you've ever done project planning or goal planning or anything, you go, okay, here's my 5 F's. Here's 100 goals I have, and then I'm gonna categorize them into these 5 F's. And I'm gonna pick the top 5, and then I'll pick the top 2, and then I'll take the top 2, and I'll break it into 6 steps, and then 6 steps into 100 tasks, and I'll focus on only the little tasks to go to these 2 goals. And then Mike Tyson says like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Then you get punched in the mouth, and then you're like, I had a plan, and it didn't work or whatever. But that's why we just focus on like 1 or 2 things instead of 60, because you come over here and get punched in the mouth, and you turn around and get punched in the mouth. You know, boxers learn to like roll with the punch. They just like focus on the jab, focus on the hook, jab. Okay, now hook. Just 2 things, because we only got 2 hands. You know, there's reasons for these things. I don't know. But I was just jumping out of my skin because I'd heard that story told as like, hey, so and so said that this is what happened.
Yep.
And it was interesting because it wasn't even about the time. It was just about what the dream was and whether we're focused on that or not.
Yep. Exactly.
So
Well,
what would have
go ahead.
happened if the day conflicted with his wedding?
Mhm.
Would he have moved the date of the wedding to accommodate that speech? Not for $1 million.
Nope.
What if someone came right now and offered, me a job that paid this number or twice this number, but it didn't focus on any of the 1 or 2 things that are most important to me here? Would I take it? That's the question I'm thinking. And the truth is, absolutely not. I've got plenty of job offers. I make way less on this number than I could if I went and got a job, but I'd have 0 time for the things that are important. I want to feed my community. I got a special needs kid. I got things that are important. So it's not even about moving a date. For me, I just had to say it's about when you have that one thing and you can say no to everything else, it makes it easier to say no. And when we know the dollar per minute, we either choose, well, if I say yes, that's burn time. Do I have 60 minutes of burn time? Yeah, I do. It's in the bank. I got 60 minutes of burn time. Or not. And for people probably who are going to space and running, global airlines and all that kind of stuff, they probably don't have 60 minutes to burn, much less, as you said in that, like traveling and moving calendar stuff and yada yada. It's like, I don't even want to blink. I don't have extra time to blink. So whatever, I won't burn another minute.
No worries. Well, we appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all, what am I in the South now? I joined Machen. I've been listening to Machen too much.
Howdy, welcome to Texas.
But we appreciate y'all there. I said it again. Given your time this morning, on a Monday morning, on a holiday, no less. And if you're watching the replay, you gave up over 30 minutes of your time, and we appreciate you because, like Mike said, time is a precious commodity that we can't get back. And we hope we added value in this time that we were with you today. So with that, I hope you
100%.
all have an awesome rest of your holiday weekend and the rest of your week. And we will not probably see you next Monday. Maybe it depends on our travels. Lulu will be hosting the call next week. So there will be a call, but tune in and see what Lulu has for you for next week. So with that, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, probably. Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Safe travels.
Thanks.
Thank you.